Welp, the Eagles have embarrassed themselves yet again, and the problems with the offense still remain and don't look like they're going anywhere, at least for now. The Eagles lose back-to-back winnable games against Dallas and Chicago, and the sky does look like it's falling with this team. Let's get into it. Welcome to Fourth and Chill. Eagles drop a close one in Dallas, 24-21. The Cowboys walk off the Eagles in Jerry's World, and the Eagles fall to 8-3. Now, the Eagles' loss on Sunday was a ticking regular season time bomb. 14 penalties, mind you. Like, 4 of them were extremely bogus, but the false starts, the illegal formations, the holding calls, when a team commits these type of penalties in bunches like the Eagles did, it points to coaching. It shows a lack of discipline and focus. I mean, look how much the Eagles are getting penalized so far this season. These penalties are self-inflicted wounds. I understand that some of these penalties in the game on Sunday were highly questionable, especially the 12-man on the field, which negated Nakobe Dean's interception. Here's what defensive coordinator Vic Fangio had to say about that penalty, by the way.
Let's do Dean had the interception overturned, I guess, by the too many men on the field.
Yeah, they subbed, which allows us to sub and give us time to sub. The umpire was actually going up to the line of scrimmage to hold up the play, and for some reason didn't. So, that one, I'm not sure really what happened there. But they subbed, so we should be able to sub. And we didn't get off in time.
Now, maybe the negativity surrounding AJ, Jalen Hurts, and Kevin Patullo really did interfere with the team focus throughout the week, despite the players insisting on not letting the outside noise affect them. Listen, the Eagles started the game perfectly. First drive of the game, 7 plays, 50 yards. Jalen and AJ connect with each other in the end zone. Beautiful drive. The next drive, 12 plays, 76 yards, touchdown. One thing that needs to be settled with this coaching staff is that this season, the Eagles are a pass-first team, and that's perfectly fine. The Eagles were run-heavy and run-first last season because everything they ran with Saquon pretty much worked. I really don't understand Kevin Patullo's thought process throughout games, man. Whatever works well in the game, he just throws it away the next offensive series, and we never see that success again. Then he has to rely on conservative play calling to get him through the rest of the game, and it comes back to bite the Eagles like it did on Sunday afternoon. We saw the Eagles quickly unravel in the second half, and if it wasn't the penalties, it was the play selection, and if it wasn't that, it was the turnovers, and the turnovers came at the worst possible times. I mean, Saquon, hold on to the ball, man. Xavier Gibson, why, bro? You just cannot field a kick right there. You simply cannot. It's stupidity. The defense, in my opinion, played great in the first half. Again, held the Cowboys scoreless up until the final minutes of the second quarter. But I felt like Fangio didn't really make adjustments to George Pickens in the second half. And Fangio's whole thing is not to give up the big play, and Dak and Pickens torched him all night. Not to mention a couple of CeeDee Lamb drops saved Fangio as well. Now let's pivot off the defense a little bit, since they have been winning us games for the past 2 weeks. This season, the personnel, especially the offensive line, is not playing up to the standard that they have in the past. Simple as that. Yes, Landon, Cam, and Lane have been battling injuries all season, but look, they played last season with injuries, and they still found ways to really dominate and remain dominant in the trenches. I guess we can just chuck it up to them having a down year, but that does hinder the Eagles' playoff hopes a little bit and what they plan to do in the playoffs. Let's just say the Eagles do make the playoffs, and are we confident that this sputtering offense will find a way? Who knows? What I do know is that Saquon and the offensive line aren't really factors this year, and the scary part about that is that we really need them to be. We need to have balance, and we just simply don't have that, and the Eagles simply can't find a ways to create more rushing opportunities, and rushing effectiveness. And it's a tough scenario. I know I've been ripping Kevin Patullo since week 2, and rightfully so, because I think he's beyond terrible and unqualified to be a professional offensive coordinator in the NFL. But he does have to take a back seat to Nick Sirianni's offense, which is a problem. As I have stated before, Nick Sirianni is a CEO style of head coach. He's not really known for his scheme. He's really heavily reliant on his coordinators to help shape the identity for the offense and to really make that engine go, which puts more emphasis on finding a competent coordinator. We saw the offensive issues in early 2021. We saw them in 2023. Now we're seeing them unfold again this year in 2025. Notice a pattern. A potential issue that could develop is Nick losing the locker room. Players have already expressed openly their frustration with the offense. We know most of the issues lie with the scheme and the concepts. Again, I think Kevin Patullo needs to be demoted, but that is a Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie call. They do need to sit Sirianni down and explain to him what it is with him and these coordinators and give him like a senior offensive coordinator like a Vic Fangio. Doesn't have any head coaching aspirations. Someone who has skin in the game, who has success in the NFL at creating offenses and building scheme. I was so mad at that game, y'all. Like, you go up 3 scores and you can't put the game away. Like, what are we doing? I have very little faith in the offense right now, and it pains me to say that. We have guys like Jalen Hurts, DeVonta Smith, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, but I really think these guys are struggling to succeed under Kevin Patullo because he is handcuffing them. I don't know, y'all. Watching this offense is like a grade A felony, and I'm really getting frustrated. But on to the Bears game. Eagles lose their Black Friday Week 13 matchup against the surging Chicago Bears 24-15, bringing their new regular season record to 8-4. Now, more offensive struggles and new concerns about the defense arise from this game. More dumb penalties, more questionable play calling, more questionable adjustments from Fangio. This game literally ruined my Thanksgiving holiday. This offense continues to beat themselves more than their opponents beat them, even in a flawed scheme. You do not help yourself when guys are constantly not on the same page with blocking, route running, and in pass coverage. I just don't have much to say about this game. It's getting a little annoying at this point that the play calling hasn't switched up, and us Eagles fans have seen this story before more than once. Before I get into that, here's what head coach Nick Sirianni had to say about the play calling duties and the issues on offense.
Now that you have 10 days between this game and the next one, is that something you'll evaluate at halftime?
We'll evaluate obviously everything, but like I said to you guys, when you win, when you lose, it's never about one person. We all collectively have to do a better job, and that's going to be starting with us as coaches, starting with me as a coach, finding solutions to getting the offense going, and so I'll put that on us as a staff and put that on me most individually there to help get this thing pointed in the right direction. But yeah, no, I still stay with that. You can't. It's the greatest team sport there is, and it's never about one person. We all have to look internally and all have to get better, and coaches and players.
If you turn down a lot of starters, you guys spend more money on that. Why is it?
Yeah, if I wish I could tell you this is exactly what it is, and this is hard. It's not easy to be successful, stay successful. So we have to find, again, we have to do it collectively. We have to do it collectively as a unit. Like,
you don't know? You don't know what's wrong with your team? It's your team. That answer is unacceptable to me. Kevin Patullo is an issue, and he has to go by what you tell him to do. I don't get it, man. I know how this movie ends, though. This has shades of 2023 and shades of 2020 sprinkled all in this. The free fall of 2023 is very similar to what's going on now. Struggling offense, defense falling apart, no running game, blowing a number 1 seed. Now here's where the similarities of 2020 come into play. Remember this guy? Yes, Press Taylor. He was the passing game coordinator and the QB coach for the Eagles in 2020. Now, allegedly, he's notorious for coddling Carson Wentz as well, which led to the demise of Wentz. We all remember that 2020 season and how awful the Eagles offense looked. But Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie allegedly gave Doug Peterson an ultimatum. And that ultimatum was, if you get rid of Press Taylor, maybe you can keep your job, and we know what route Doug chose in the end. We can see everything unfolding the same way with Sirianni. Now, Nick has a little bit more grace this time because he is fresh off a Super Bowl win. And Doug did not get fired until 3 years later after he won Super Bowl 52. But the same delusion and stubbornness is there. Listen. The call to switch offensive coordinators is glaring right now, y'all. Just listen.
You gotta put your glasses on, Sirianni, and maybe get your wand out and find you a new offensive coordinator, because right now, Kevin Patullo does not have the answers. He's shown incompetency over the last couple games. We gotta change that, baby. You need a little Wingardium Leviosa.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's time to switch offensive coordinators, or do you think it's just too late in the season? Let me know in the comments below. This is what I do know. The Eagles will lose a lot of close games. And if they do not make an internal switch, and if they fail to make it to the postseason, which is looking a little more likely with each passing week, then it will go down as one of the biggest regular season collapses in the NFL history. And I'm not too sure if Nick Sirianni will be able to survive that. At the end of the day, Nick Sirianni is the head coach. And I'm not believing for a second he doesn't know what the issues are. I think it's highly respectable that he does not throw his team and his coaches underneath the bus, but something has to be done. He has to have accountability present. Be transparent. The season is still salvageable, but he has to be the one to make this call and right the ship. This is why we brought you here. You have to be able to see when things aren't working and make the adjustments when necessary. That is a mark of a true head coach. Look, he is getting out-coached a lot, and the arrogance he has in what he's doing every week and magically thinking it's going to just correct itself is outstanding to me. Look, this is frustrating, but I do have confidence in guys like Jalen Hurts, as I stated before. And I think if there's anything we can rely on his leadership to kind of get us through this storm and this rut. But time is ticking fast. The Eagles will travel to LA to face another playoff caliber team in the LA Chargers next Monday night to see if they can stop this skid. Look, y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all Eagles related news. Until next time, fly Eagles fly.